Oh no! We have a major disaster on our paws! We didn't manage to get a Christmas episode out for the second year in a row! Quick! How do we salvage this? We didn't even do anything for New Year's either! New Year's Evil would have been perfect! Wait! I got it! We will do one of those movies that came out near the year 2000 that had 2000 in its title. So then, we can say that the video is celebrating the new year by spotlighting a movie that kicked off the 2000s, and that this was the plan all along. Yeah, that'll work. I am such a brilliant kitty. And besides, it's very easy to fool the masses. I'm a master at this. They will never suspect a thing. Hey! Why are you recording this? Hi, I'm Movie Cat, and you're watching Fantastic Crap. Well, it's the beginning of another new year, and what better way to look forward to the future than to look back to the past when the 2000s was just about to begin, back when presidents were finding cool alternative uses for cigars, and everyone thought that the 2K thing was going to virtually end us all. Wait, I just realized something. Have we ever featured a vampire movie on here yet? We haven't? Well, yay then, because that means this first video of the year gets to be a first for us as well. And who else to head our first vampire film than the master himself, Dracula? Yes, we're about to take a look at Dracula 2000, which was kind of an attempt to do something different with the Dracula story, while splashing in current trends of the time, such as Matrix-style slow-mo effects and martial arts. The movie obviously came out in 2000 and starred Jared Butler as Dracula. Yeah, I know, this movie just got a whole lot more interesting. Well then, let's not waste any more time. Grab your crosses and stakes, because it's time to hunt Dracula into the 21st century. So, we start a movie showing the ill-fated Demeter. Is that how you pronounce it? Demeter? Oh, it doesn't matter. The famous boat that Dracula took to England in the Bram Stoker novel. The usual aftermath of dead bodies is seen, and then it shows the boat hit mainland. Wow, this movie starts out earning some points. That was pretty cool. We then flash forward to the year 2000 to meet some of our characters.
It sounds like something your grandfather would have used to hunt the old
Simon, you know how I dislike this kind of talk.
Sorry.
How my poor grandfather could have inspired a character out of Bram Stoker's book, I'll never know.
Christopher friggin' Palmer playing an ascendant of Van Helsing? This movie just keeps getting more promising. Okay. This is getting both interesting and weird all at the same time. In the meantime, a group of super high-tech thieves, you know, the kind that only really exist in the movies, breaks into Van Helsing's super vault to eventually find a coffin. They assume that the eccentric old man has his greatest treasures in the coffin and proceeds to try to open it like morons.
Jesus Christ, get down!
This job is obviously way over these guys' head. They should have called in Indiana Jones. But honestly, when you discover that the vault you are breaking into turns into a giant dungeon full of skulls of two pointed sharp teeth and a coffin in the center, that is when you realize you are starring in a horror film and that you should just nope the hell right out of there. Yeah, this movie is still managing to stay friggin' awesome. The rest of the crooks take the coffin and escape through some back sewers and then get away on a plane. While on the plane, they try to open the coffin and of course, they leave one person to do it alone. And when the coffin does open, they hear the guy scream and they just send one person to check it out because while they may be a group of high-tech savvy thieves, they are still stupid victims in a horror film.
Trick!
While the effects here are indeed a tiny bit dated, that was actually a pretty cool first appearance. Oh, and then Dracula gets the woman and the other guy fires out at him, which of course does not work. He fires again, hits the roof of the plane, which causes sunlight to come through and burn Dracula, and separate him from the rest of the plane. And then this happens. When, in a holy hand grenade, has Dracula ever had the power to control the friggin' weather? Oh, also during this time there is the character Mary, who seems to have some kind of connection with Dracula, and has one of those weird vision/dream things where Dracula is there, but not really there. You know, I fully expected the effects in this to have aged poorly and that I would have the opportunity to poke fun at said effects. But honestly, so far they are still pretty impressive. So, the plane crashes down in New Orleans and Van Helsing sees a news report about the said plane crash.
Valerie Shaw reporting, News 13.
And you're clear. All right.
Wait a minute. They are alone? Wouldn't that place be full of other reporters and police and ambulances and all that stuff? Come on, movie. You do some rather cool things, and then you turn around and do some rather idiotic things. Focus!
This is Valerie Shaw. Turn me on at 11 to watch these stupid bugs kiss my...
Val?
See? Right there, right in the middle of doing something stupid, the movie turns around and does something rather cool again. This movie is bipolar as fuck! So, Van Helsing visits where they are keeping the coffin and discovers the police are dead. His business partner, who also views him as a father figure, also shows up even though he was told not to. This is where Christopher Plummer gets to go all Van Helsing, and he is really fun in the role. They, of course, have some vamp encounters.
Sorry, sport. I'm an atheist.
God loves you anyway.
Okay, that was rather amusing and pretty well done. movie is scoring points again. They have a bit more vamp encounters, and then escape. And remember when I said that Christopher Plummer was now majorly rocking the Van Helsing role?
They can be killed by silver, by sunlight, by stakes. You must pierce their heart or behead them. They are Nosferatu, vampires.
It's always great when a movie like this has one of those fantastic veteran actors who just grabs his character and runs with it. Another great example of this is Donald Pleasance in the Halloween films. Okay, I'll give you another small taste.
Dracula. Not myth, no ravings of a mad Irish novelist. He's real, I assure you.
You know, once I saw Christopher Plummer in a low-budget Die Hard ripoff where he played the Hans Gruber type villain, and as you probably have already guessed, he was the best part of the entire movie, and made his role, that was obviously inspired by another role, unique and his own. And this is what makes these kind of actors so great. They can take any kind of movie, no matter how stupid and awful, and still give 100% and knock it right out of the park. We then get a story-filling flashback that reveals Van Helsing's capture of Dracula in the past, and I must say, it was a pretty ingenious trap.
Who is this creature that walks as a man, yet casts no reflection?
Honestly, this entire movie should have just been about Van Helsing and Dracula. If it was, I would not even be talking about it, because it would probably be mostly fantastic without the crap. Oh, and it is also revealed that the spear that penetrated Dracula also stabbed into Van Helsing, transferring some blood to Van Helsing, which belonged his life a bit. After discovering this, he started using leeches with Dracula's blood to keep himself alive, until he can figure out how to kill Dracula, because all of the known ways to kill a vampire does not work on Dracula. You know, this story has some really creative and awesome ideas going on. If they had just given the script a few more rewrites, it probably could have been a classic. Oh yeah, and getting back to the Mary character, it seems that she is Van Helsing's daughter, and since she was born from Dracula's blood, they are both connected, and since she is more like him than any of his other vampires that he had the bite to create, he is searching her out. Yeah, this bit is pretty much the more uninteresting part of the story. So, we go back to the woman who was part of the group of thieves who has now been transformed into a vampire. She is being held at a police station, but that is okay because Dracula comes to spring her.
Dignity, Doctor.
Oh yeah, the movie has gone back to being fun again. And speaking of fun, let's talk about the scene where Dracula goes into a Virgin record store. This is so believable, not because he is Dracula, but because he is Gerard Butler. I mean, come on. What woman out there wouldn't want to have his babies? Also, why is this music store full of nothing but beautiful women? I guess in the 90s, the only people who listened to music was hot chicks.
But if it's about music, I can help you. My name's Lucy. Lucy Westerman.
And such beauty.
Oh, hey, her name is Lucy. Well, we all know what is going to happen to her.
But we're all so much more complicated than our names. Yes, Lucy.
I was named after the Peanuts character.
This movie really has some moments of really great clever writing, which is why I get so annoyed that half of the characters in it are as stupid as walnuts. We then get a sex scene with the two where they start floating through the air while still getting it on, which is kind of cool. They end up on the ceiling and roll around a bit. It's kind of like that scene from Nightmare on Elm Street where Freddy throws Lisa through the air a lot, except there is less sex and more murder. Anyway, Van Helsing's assistant finds Mary, but it just leads to more vampire fighting.
Never, ever fuck with an antique dealer.
In reality, this line wasn't originally in the movie, but the actor kept running around on set saying it, and they liked it so much that they put it into the film. Oh, and Dracula and Van Helsing finally meet.
Abraham Van Helsing. Beaten by your own reflection.
Hey, that is kind of cool that they did a reversal of the mirror trap. More points earned. Wait! They killed off Van Helsing and off screen too? The best actor and character in the... minus 3,000 points. Just actually all the damn points.
Get down!
Hey, movie! How dare you do something really awesome right after pissing me off? That is not fair!
You think you can defend her with the Bible?
That was a pretty damn good answer. Stop being cool again, movie! I still want to hate you! Even before Hero being a badass antiques dealer, Dracula finally manages to get Mary and runs off with her, which leaves our hero alone to deal with the 3 vampire brides. The actresses who played the 3 brides all really nail their roles and are pretty phenomenal. Sadly, I feel they did not get enough screen time. Dracula bites Mary, which gives her a flashback that explains that Dracula is really Judas. Yes, that Judas. This is why he hates all religious stuff and silver, and why it also hurts him. He was cursed to walk the earth for eternity because of his betrayal. I have heard that this plot twist angered a lot of people, but not me. Though I will get back to that in a minute. They capture the antiques dealer, and Mary, who seems to have fully turned, is sent in to bite him. She fakes biting him and kills one of the vampire women, leaving just one left. What follows is what most people today seem to remember most about this movie, even though it only happens during the climax. Kung Fu fighting vampires. Actually, all of the fighting here is pretty well done, and lots of fun. And of course we get some Matrix-style Kung Fu fighting with Mary and Dracula, because this movie just has to remind us that this was made in the year 2000. It all ends with Mary hanging Dracula with a wire from a Jesus-lit-up cross. Yeah, it turns turns out that Dracula was indeed well hung. Oh, hush! Like you could do better. Anyway, Dracula is still stuck hanging when the sun comes in, and yes, that's right, villain death scene. Dracula really is hot for Jesus. Hey, what did you expect from this show? This isn't the Twilight Zone. We don't have time for good writing here. Anyway, the movie ends with Mary saying that they put Dracula's remains back in his coffin, and now that she has Dracula's blood running through her veins, she will continue her father's work and watch over Dracula. So, that is Dracula 2000. It's a bit of a mess, really. It has so many cool ideas and does so many awesome things, yet mixes it up with some really outstandingly dumb moments, peppered with characters that would make most slasher movie victims look like rocket scientists. It also takes one of its best characters, Van Helsing, and rudely bumps him off in the middle of the movie so that the less interesting Mary character can take over. The antiques dealer actually has a lot of great badass moments and one-liners, but at the end of the day, he is pretty much your typical action movie hero. Like I said earlier, if this had been Christopher Plummer's and Gerard Butler's movie, I think it would have been much better. As for Gerard Butler, he does a fine performance as Dracula, and while he gets a lot more lines with a lot more to do at the last half of the movie, the first half pretty much just has him staring at people with a demonic grin on his face. But he does it so damn well that it doesn't even bother me as much as it should. This movie may have come out in the year 2000, but still has the feel of the 90s with all its trends and fads intact. But it is filmed in such a stylish way and does have some really nice camera work going for it. The Judas thing doesn't really bother me as much, though I don't think it's like the most brilliant or mind-blowing plot twist out there. I just like that the writers tried to go their own creative way and do something different with a story that has been told 5,000 times already. And it does set it apart from other Dracula films. And I do like how they actually went out of their way to explain why silver always seems to be a thing that hurts Dracula and his minions, and the crosses and other religious facts. There are 2 direct-to-video sequels, which both kinda suck. No pun intended this time. Really. I give Dracula 2000 6 hairballs out of 10. So there we have it. Our first episode of the year. And don't worry, I will be hard at work to make sure I get out as much content as I possibly can for this year. I mean, right after recording this, I will instantly begin working on the next episode. You can trust me. I, Movie Cat, will always tirelessly work hard for the masses. I am here for you. You can always count on me to always be behind the scenes, making sure I keep the best possible B-movie content pumping out at a speedy rate. Cut! It's always good to get another silly episode behind me. Now, let's go have another 10-hour session of Rocket League. I gotta get platinum and get that awesome new goal explosion. What? What about working on the next show? The next episode can wait. I mean, our audience will never know. Anyway, if something happens and we go over too long, I would just blame it on a random dog attack or something. Those simpletons will believe anything. Hey, that still says record. Son of a bitch! How do we salvage this? We didn't even do anything for New Year's Evil. Either. Evil, I talk about New Year's Evil after I say either. Stop skipping words. You know, I fully expected the effects in this to have aged poorly, and that I would have had too many hads and haves and have nots. Okay, let's continue. So, the plane crashes down in New Orleans, and Van Helsing sees a news report about this. Come on, movie cat, kick it out so you can speak. Which is kind of weird since you're a cat, but never mind. So, Van Helsing visits. So, Van Helsing visits. Why can't I say the word visits? Really? Really? That's the thing that's going to stop me on this review? The word visits? So, Van Helsing visits where he is keeping. What is with me in this sentence? What? You know, once I saw Christopher Plummer in a low-budget Die Hard ripoff where he played the Hans Gruber type villain, and Jews. What does Jews have to do with this? Right. This movie really has moments of really great, clever writing, which is why I get so annoyed that half of the character in it. Okay. Freddy throws Lisa around through the air, except there's less sex and I'm not a cat, but I can stop purring. I can't even say the word purring. Oh.